hiking. Just get in the car, okay?
This morning, newly released police body camera video of a confrontation in Freeport, Illinois. The incident making waves online.
Okay, because they don't want me to arrest. I didn't try to steal anything. Okay.
Officials making that footage public more than a week after 24-year-old Shaquille Dukes, seen here in his hospital gown, still hooked to an IV, posted the video of the altercation on Facebook. Duke says he was being treated at a nearby hospital for pneumonia and was taking a walk around the facility when he claims he was racially profiled by a white hospital security guard who then called police, saying he felt extremely threatened.
He's stealing hospital property, basically, by leaving. I don't care if he was coming back. That's stealing. Okay. And then they all three got into this.
Did he have permission to leave the hospital with that equipment?
He wasn't my patient.
Does he have permission?
I said, I explained to you that Dr. Murphy and Jennifer was aware that I came outside. If you will call and verify with them, well, I don't care what they told you. As far as I'm concerned, this is hospital equipment and you're attempting to steal it.
Duke's boyfriend recording the cell phone video as the exchange gets heated. Police responding, finding the group on public property. The situation escalating.
It's hospital property.
Yeah, but there's no threat. There's no threat.
Stop talking.
The way you're acting.
As they began to take me to the car, I told him, I said, I never left hospital property. And that's when he turned and said, well, you're off hospital property now.
Why'd you kicking him? Don't kick him.
Duke's brother put in handcuffs first, then Dukes himself arrested, charged with disorderly conduct.
From a law enforcement standpoint, arresting a person is not always the solution. You want to at least investigate to make sure that you have all of the information.
The department standing by the conduct of its officers. Freeport police saying in a statement, our investigation revealed that at no time did any doctor or nurse give that patient or any patient permission to leave the hospital while still hooked to an IV machine.
It was determined that he was likely not trying to steal any of the property. So, but the charges were supported for disorderly conduct with their actions toward the security guard. I think that our officers handled it the best way they could and given the situations that they had in front of them.
The hospital telling ABC News patient privacy laws do not allow us to comment on what is now a police matter.
Police in an Illinois town are under fire after arresting this black hospital patient who decided to go for a walk while hooked up to an IV. The stunning moment was all captured on cell phone video by the patient's boyfriend and is now getting national attention. Shaquille Dukes says he came down with double pneumonia last month while on vacation and checked into a hospital in Freeport, Illinois. On the next day at the hospital, he was feeling better, asked doctors if he could go out and about for a walk. And as he walked through the hospital parking lot wearing his hospital gown and hooked up to this drip, Duke says a security guard you see there confronted him, accusing him of trying to steal hospital equipment. The security guard called for police backup. Officers arrested him and his boyfriend and his brother. The three men were charged with disorderly conduct, obstructing and resisting a police officer. Dukes believes they were racially profiled by this white security guard and by police officers because of the color of their skin. And Shaquille Dukes is with me now, along with his boyfriend, Marquandrick Morrison, who recorded the video of the arrest. Gentlemen, thanks for being on with me.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Okay, where to begin? Shaquille, just first to you, health-wise, are you feeling better?
Yes, I'm feeling better.
Okay. All right. So I know I just ran through some of the highlights or lowlights, but take me back. You're in the hospital. You're hooked up to this drip. You go outside for a walk. You are in your hospital gown, and this security guard approaches you. What happens?
Yes. So as we were getting ready to go back into the facility, as we're getting ready to walk back across the lot, the security guard, we see him driving up the street, and at that point he yells out, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" So I sort of just stand there, like, I hold my arm up, and I'm like, the hospital door is right here. We're going back inside. He's I need you guys to come over here. That's when he called us over to the car, and as we're approaching the car, that's when the sort of controversy ensues. To me, it looks like you guys are still in this. I don't care if you're walking back or not. And that's when I told him. I said, Jennifer is my nurse. Dr.
Well, I'm sorry. Why would he think you're stealing hospital equipment when you are there in a hospital gown, hooked up to an IV? Did he explain why his thinking?
That has been the billion-dollar question, Brooke. I have no idea. I mean, I could see if we were blocks away. I could see if I was in regular clothes and carrying the pole, in my arms. But neither of those are the case. I was in a hospital gown with no clothes and with medicine pumping into my veins. So I'm not sure how we could have seemed as if we were attempting to steal it or posed this threat that he speaks of.
Mark Wandrick, you were this other set of eyes. What happened?
Well, to me, I was shocked, like, especially coming when he was like, like, what are you guys trying to do? Sell it on eBay? I'm like, well, he's in a hospital gown with an IV. Medicine is still, fluids are still running through his veins. So, I mean, how crazy could it be? How crazy could you think, Like, I just want to know, what was he thinking? I don't know, it's really crazy to me.
Let me make sure I get this in. So the hospitals declined to comment, citing patient confidentiality, they're cooperating with the police investigation. Freeport police investigating, they say, quote, to gather the facts, interview all parties involved, and determine whether officers conducted themselves in adherence to department policies and guidelines. And just so I'm clear, I mean, cuffs were slapped on you with the IV drip, and then you had an asthma attack, is that correct?
Yes, actually I had an asthma attack and a seizure, according to paramedics while in transit. When they first arrested me and told me I was being charged with attempted theft, they took my inhaler then in that moment. And when I got into the back of the squad, I told him that I was there for pneumonia and asthma and then I needed a treatment. He asked the sergeant, who told him no, to transport me to the city jail. And while in transit, that's when I blacked out. When I came back to, I was having an asthma attack, but I was still in the back of the car. At that point, officers came out, another patrolman, she came out, and I told her, I said, I need my inhaler, I can't breathe. And she said, where is it? I said, one of the officers took it. And at that point, that's when he stepped forward and presented the inhaler. At that point, the paramedics were arriving in the lot, and that's when they removed me out of the car and transported me back to the jail.
So again, they're investigating. Why do you think this is about the color of your skin?
That there's no other clear indication of what this could be about. I mean, theft, 3 black males attempting to steal hospital equipment. I mean, like, seriously, what else could this be? We pose no threat whatsoever. Had he simply even attempted to verify or send someone inside to double check our story, we wouldn't be here. But that wasn't the case. I truly feel that because of how we looked, the situation spiraled into something other than what it needed to be. It was initiated by the security and later perpetuated by the police.
And really, last question, because this wasn't yesterday, right? I mean, this was a couple weeks ago. It's my understanding you waited. When was it? When was it?
Yes, this happened June 9th.
Right, so a couple weeks ago, you waited to post the video because why? And then are you all taking legal action?
So we waited because initially after the incident happened, I immediately went and started having dialogue with the administration, with the city of Freeport, with the police department, and with FHN. Initially, I'd given them a timeline of, and I told them, 7 days, I expect some sort of answer, and then I'm going to go public and ask the world what they think about the incident. Throughout that entire process, they've been doing nothing but blowing smoke. I've met with the mayor, with the city manager, with the chief of police, with the chief human resources officer at the hospital.
What do they say?
They're all just, they're playing this game. We're investigating. We're looking into it. When I met with the hospital, they came and they told me, in other words, the chief human resources officer, he said, Shaquille, he said, pretty much we wanted to give you this opportunity for this dialogue, but we really just want to figure out, what are you proposing? What would look like victory to you in the situation? And
what do you want?
I told him, I said, exactly. And I told him, this is, if you're insinuating, there's some monetary something that can make this go away, I said, you're ignorant. I said, and with that, it's insulting, and I feel like I'm being handled, and I ended the meeting and left.
Have you hired a lawyer?
Not as of yet, because as I mentioned, that really wasn't what we were seeking. We really wanted to truly see reform. Policy stood up around the situation, and that has not happened. And it's clear that it won't happen without some sort of outside oversight.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Let's stay in touch. I have a feeling a few people are watching. And let's see where this goes.
Absolutely.
Shaquille and Marquandrick, gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thank
Again,
you,
the hospital declining comment.
Good morning, my faithful loyal YouTube subscribers. Today it is Friday, this July 5th, the year 2019. So, interesting story. 3 young men arrested outside of a hospital, stopped by a security guard, later arrested by the Freeport, Illinois police and charged with whatever they were charged with. Could this have been avoided? I think my opinion might be a little bit different than the vast majority of people I've read about this incident. And I'm just going to keep it short. When that security guard approached these 3 young men, and they walked over to him, and he asked them, were they trying to steal this equipment to sell it on Google? They should have politely said, no, we're going back to the hospital. You know what they should have continued to do? Walk towards the hospital. They didn't have to be detained by him. They didn't have to argue with him. They didn't have to pull out their cell phones to record him. They knew he was a racist fool. Why did they even entertain him? This is when youth versus experience comes in. I'm 49 years of age. I would not have entertained that security guard. He ain't nobody. I'd have politely said we walking back towards the hospital, and I would have proceeded to keep walking towards the hospital. They were already at the door. They were just not far from walking back in the hospital. But they decided to argue and escalate this situation because, we got to have our respect. How dare he say we trying to steal this equipment? They didn't have to explain shit to that motherfucker. See, when you get older, you become wiser. I don't argue with nobody. What's the purpose? I don't argue with nobody. All they had to do was walk back into that hospital. By the time that man would have got them police over there, they'd been back inside the hospital. Back in their room, situated. But instead, these 3 knuckleheads decided to argue with this fool. Sometimes you just gotta let shit die. I would not have argued with that fool. And I most definitely would not have argued with him that length of time the police would have got there. By the time he made that smart-ass comment about y'all trying to steal his shit and sell it on Google, I'd have just dismissed him and said, we're going back. And they didn't have to explain nothing to this man. They should just walk back to the hospital. They were already there. But to stand there and argue with him. Pull out their phones. Fuss and fight, running their damn mouth. Then when the police got there, see what they did was they escalated the situation. So when the police got there, they still running their damn mouth. They still arguing with these people. What is the point of all this arguing and fussing and fighting with people? I don't do it. You know you weren't stealing the stuff. You knew what you were doing. You had permission from someone inside the hospital to say it was okay. Sometimes common sense has to kick in at some point. And I'm going to give these young men a pass because they are young. And they don't know when to shut it. Some shit ain't worth arguing over, y'all. It ain't worth it. I don't argue with nobody over nothing. I have been pulled over and detained in the back of police cars and all kinds of stuff. I don't argue with the people. And they always let me go. Okay, sorry, Mr. Hampton. Have a nice day. Because I don't believe in arguing. I don't say a word. I don't say nothing. Nothing. Because sometimes silence is the best mode to say, just be quiet. Give me your information and go about your business. I've actually had officers who I've had encounters with who said, you were the most disrespectful person I've ever encountered. I wish we could meet people like you every day. Because I don't believe in arguing with people. These officers have a job. That security guard had a job to do. It's not for you to argue with him about this equipment, but you know you weren't trying to steal it. Keep going back to the hospital. Ignore him. Maybe I grew up in a world different than today, because I'm not going to argue with you about anything, especially something minute or something you're accusing me of stealing something. I know I'm not trying to steal. Y'all, them guys knew they weren't trying to steal this equipment. Why are they arguing with this fool? He is a low-paid, $10 an hour or less security guard. Walk back to the hospital and call it a day. They didn't have to entertain that fool. Not enough that he didn't ran over, called the police didn't race over there. They could have been back in the hospital in their bed by now. Then when the police get there, they're still arguing with these people. Shut your mouth. See, they escalated the situation. And I'm beginning to think black folks, because I'm reading all these comments, I'm thinking maybe black folks don't get it. And that's why these situations continue to escalate. Not all situations. Clearly the police are in the wrong on a lot of this shit. But in certain situations, shut your mouth. You don't have to be right. Well, especially when you know you are in the right. Just keep going. Then that security guard couldn't touch them. He's a security guard. He couldn't put a finger on them. Keep walking towards the hospital. Fuck him. And keep moving. He couldn't have did shit. Y'all have been back in the hospital by the time the police got over there. I don't get it. You know, I've gone to stores and I've had security follow me all over the store. I'm serious. I'll be shopping. You know, your bags and stuff. Be shopping. I don't pay them people no attention. They be following me, looking to see if I'm shoplifting. I don't care. What you follow me for? I look at them and keep on going. Because you know when somebody's kind of following you, because everywhere you go, there they are. I don't argue with these people. They're doing their job. I really don't care. I know I ain't about to steal nothing. Because if I was stealing something, I'd steal it right in front of their face and they wouldn't even know it. They'd help put the packages in my car. I've done it. So I don't really get myself all riled up over a lot of this stuff. Sometimes when you get yourself, let your emotions get involved in something, you can make the situation worse. These guys let their emotions get control of them. Hey, how dare he accuse us of stealing this equipment? This is unbelievable. Then there were gay guys too. You know they like drama. Gay folks love drama, should be their tagline. Now, of course, I wasn't there, but I'm watching these videos enough to see the drama and them going back and forth the office and stuff, and the cameras are rolling. And I'm thinking, why? Did anybody ever think just to be quiet? Why argue with these people? Because when the security guard stops him, I'm still a firm believer this did not have to be escalated. Oh, Mr. Security Guard, we're going back to the hospital. No, we were not trying to steal because we were just taking a little walk. We didn't realize that we had violated hospital policy anyway because they didn't tell us that. But they keep walking. You see his asshole, low wage making job on a fool, driving. Y'all, most security guards, they ain't shit. Y'all know this. They ain't making no money. They ain't nobody. Keep it moving. You have to argue with them. Keep moving. I've had encounters with security guards in Vegas, various places. I don't argue with them people. They're nobodies. Keep going. Keep going. I never forget, me and Earl was somewhere, and they were letting all these people. I know we were at some resort in Vegas. It was in Vegas at a casino, and we were going back to our room. So crowds of people are walking back towards the elevators to get to the floors. And all these people, me and Earl, were the only people chosen to show our room key. Now everybody else is still walking. We don't. You got your room keys? Now, of course, we know why they chose these two niggas that all these folks walking back to the room keys. So we politely stopped and gave my room keys. And I kept going, but Earl, this kind of irritated Earl. It didn't irritate me the least, but we on vacation. I don't have time for this nonsense. And Earl wanted to say something. I said, Earl, stop it. Leave it alone. Let's go. I'm not going to stand here and fight with this man. We can be back up in our room resting. I'm tired. As Vegas was 2,000 degrees outside. We can get out that heat. And you want to clown with this fool over a room key? Let's go. Because some shit ain't worth fighting over. We had our room key. I don't give a fuck about who he asked. I don't know why he chose us. He might have liked, we were handsome guys. You don't know what his motives were. We had our room key. We took our time, showed it, and kept on going. He didn't stop nobody else. I clearly saw that. I didn't give a fuck. I just didn't. I'm trying to get to this room. We didn't came out that damn heat. If you're going to Vegas in the summertime, it is hotter than a motherfucker out there. But I've had this happen at a lot of resorts and hotels. Well, they let the white folks go on by. But they'll stop me and say, do you have your room key? And I always just whip it out. I don't argue. You ain't stop all the rest of these white folks running around here. I don't have time for the drama and nonsense, y'all. Just don't. Get a room key. I keep moving. That's it. Could he have been targeted? Yeah, possibly. I don't give a fuck. See, some of y'all want to fight and argue about a bunch of shit. I don't go through my life fighting and arguing with nobody over nothing. Because it just ain't worth it. All that drama, we gonna fuss and fight, we gonna stand here 20 minutes and fight and argue, then it escalates, then the police get called and your handcuffs and slapped to the ground and all this shit. Over showing a room key? I'm not going through all that. I don't give a fuck. Some people get pissed about leaving out of Walmart and you gotta show your receipt. I went to Walmart and I purchased something big. What was it? I bought some fans. I brought these fans over here at the house. And I brought about 3 fans that were going to sell big boxes, and I paid for them in the back of the store. So I rolled them up front, and I had my receipt. And I had it in my pocket, actually, trying to hold on these boxes and stuff. So I got up to the front, and the girl was like, "Do you have your receipt?" And, of course, I had to put the boxes down, reach in my wallet, get the receipt, and show it. I said, "I bet you get a lot of folks who complain about it. You haven't showed this." She said, "Oh, you wouldn't be surprised." I can imagine. Niggas walk around with their feelings on it. And I'm not saying that but I strongly feel these 3 young men had to use more discretion. Took their emotions out of it. When they had the encounter with the police, the security guard, it would not have escalated to this had they simply said, "We're going back to the hotel, to the hospital," and kept moving. But to argue with him, pull out their camera, recording this stuff, we gonna be the right ones today. And that's how it escalated to the officers getting there. Then the officers got there, they still running their damn mouths because we in the right here. We don't like this. And they end up in handcuffs. Now, at the end of the day, you and I, we all know that eventually these charges will be dismissed, and who knows what may become of this. And then they sent them this police passport saying they didn't want to sue for financial gain. I don't know why they wouldn't. If you felt like you've been done wrong, then get your attorney, sue. That's what they for. These hospitals got money. They get paid like everybody else in America. This is the United States of America. Where is the money? We've been wronged. I would have more respect for them going after the dollar bills, y'all. Then we just want this to be done right. F that damn shit. You got some money over there. I like large bills for what you just did to me. I have more respect for them for that. They still in the emotions. You cannot take your emotions up to Bank of America and put it in your bank account and deposit it nowhere in motherfucking America. Get out your motherfucking emotions, niggas. Stay emotional. A chip on your shoulder all day long. He looked at me this way. He did this to me. Child, that don't pay your bills. In fact, it can hurt you. None of this would have happened if the men took their emotions out of this. When they encountered that security guard, y'all have had plenty of run-ins with police, security guards, all kinds of people. But I don't get emotionally attached to it. Because there is no need to. I keep it moving. I've had situations where I never forget when I had brought a brand new Cadillac Escalade. Back then I was a nigga. I put these big rims on that car from the dealership. And for some reason, I was driving down the highway. I was going from Atlanta to Savannah. And we were going to Tybee Island. And to the beach. Back when we don't go to that beach no more. It's horrible down there. But anyway, we were going our way to Tybee Island. And I had that Escalade. And I was flying down the highway. Now, when you put bigger rims on the car, the speedometer was off. So the truck, to me, was showing I was probably doing like maybe 90 or something, 80 or 90 or something, but really was over 100 miles per hour. But I didn't realize this. So I got pulled over by 2 officers on that stretch of highway there's a stretch of highway you hit from Macon to Savannah. It's a long stretch. Anyway, I got pulled over, and I was very cordial to the police officer. Said, "Did you know you're speeding?" I said, "I really didn't know. I just got this truck. It's brand new. We got these rims on here. I thought I was doing this. I had the cruise control. They said you're doing over 100. I said, "I had no idea." We sat there and talked for a brief minute. The man said to slow down. These wheels could be the issue. I could see it's a new truck. I still had the tag. I said, "Yeah, it's new." He didn't ask for my driver's license. Didn't ask for the insurance card. Didn't ask for nothing. The officers was kind, nice. Talked about the truck being nice. Sent us down the highway. By rights, I could have been arrested because I was over 100 miles per hour. sometimes when you encounter people of authority, the security guard, the police officers, a little respect goes a long way. I've had many run-ins with the police, run-ins with police officers, and they let me go because I was respectful. I wasn't arguing, fussing and fighting, looking for a battle. I don't carry my emotions or my feelings. I just don't. It's just, what's the purpose? Let it go. I ain't about to fight and battle nobody on no side of no damn highway. I'm most definitely not going to fight nobody right outside the doors to the hospital. I'm sitting there half naked. I'm going back in the hospital. Like I told my brother, I told them other two niggas, I can argue with him. I'm going back in the hospital and get my own arguing. I argue with people for what? I just don't. Prior to me getting this apartment here, I had applied to another apartment complex. I'm glad I didn't get it, but they turned me down. So the leasing agent who's assisting me, he let me know he turned you down because she didn't like about the apartment management did not like. I can't remember the situation, but he was telling me I should say something to her about this. I moved to the next complex. I'll tell you why I did that. The woman who was in control was this racist white woman. I clocked that immediately. And I've lived in apartment complexes. They have these racist apartment managers. You can never get nothing accomplished with them. She didn't like me from day one. She saw me pull up in that big Mercedes Benz. I saw her because she kept looking at that car. Is that your car? And what do you do? White folks gonna count your money for you. This nigga paid me for this damn car. He do what? So anyway, she turned me down. I went someplace. I got a better deal where I'm at right now anyway. Black leasing lady. Walked in there, she moved the same day. Me and her done had a great time over here. We ain't had no issues. Every time I called her, she been over here. It was a place beautiful. Had I moved in there with that white bitch, it'd been hell on earth. She didn't want my black ass there. Now, after I moved in here, the apartment complex I applied to is still empty. They text and email, Mr. Hampton, are you still interested in that unit? I drove by that unit. I've been here going on, in February. That unit I looked at is still empty, and they have reduced the rent on that unit. It's still sitting there. It was a 1-bedroom, 1-bath for $1,700. Well, I'm sitting in a 2-bedroom, 2-bath with a garage for $1,850. Plus all other fees come about $2K a month and shit. Rent is high in this goddamn town. High ass shit. But at least I got 2 bedrooms here. If I decided to get a roommate with everybody named Mama been asking. I'll figure that out later. But I could have fought with that woman over that apartment complex because at least the guy who was helping me, he was really going to. I said, hey, I'm going to go through this with this bitch. She can kiss my ass. They got 10,000 apartments in town. I moved on. She said no. The next people said, hey, yes, I got to prove that same day. So, sometimes some battles just ain't worth fighting. It just ain't. And I really hope those young men, as they mature, they're young, as they mature, they'll realize you're going to kill yourself a whole lot of heartache, pain, and stress, and suffering, and heart attacks, arguing with people over nothing. That security guard was nobody. And then they pissed him off. They could have been cordial to him and said, no, we're not trying to steal anything. But they immediately got jumped offensive. You can look at the videos and see what their actions are. There's a lot of videos about what took place all over the internet. I saw it. I only saw 2. I posted the 2 the interview and then the other news articles. But the entire video is on there from the real to the tutor when they first encountered the guy. And I think they were in the wrong. They handled it the wrong way. Was the security guard wrong for asking when he's trying to steal this equipment? Well, he just doing his damn job. Forget his question about the stealing equipment. They knew they weren't trying to steal it. They felt this offended him. We stay offended. But that security guard went home and got in bed that night. The officers went on about their damn business after they slapped him in them handcuffs. You the one that was put in the back of a police car, suffered a seizure, and couldn't get your ass from medicine. See, Think. People need to start thinking. One thing I've always said about Earl stays in his emotions. And I said, Earl, you need to let this shit go. Whenever somebody's always, they did that. I said, Earl, let it go. Let it go. We're on vacation. Let the drama go. People are going to be people. Let's keep it moving and enjoy our vacation. Because no matter where we go, where we do, they see two black guys, there are always going to be some issues or insinuations or whatever. I don't have time for it. We'll be fighting from here to the Bahamas. You know, so I just let it go and enjoy vacation. Whether you're in Jamaica or the Bahamas, well, I don't care where you are. You're going to run into people who may not understand something, or there's a misunderstanding of something. But there's a right and wrong way to handle anything. And you just let it go and keep it moving. Don't walk around in your emotions and feelings like you've been so severely wronged. It ain't worth it. Like I said, I'd have more respect if these young men was going after the money. They should immediately have hired an attorney and let him handle it. Get you a little check that you can deposit in Bank of America or wherever you bank with. I don't bank with Bank of America. I hate them thieves and crooks. But that's another video. But anyway, if you like my videos, click like, share. I know some of y'all are not going to agree with this. I don't care. Because you know you black folks stay caught up in your feelings and emotions. I know how y'all operate. Because I've seen y'all in action. But anyway, today is Friday. It is July 5th. The year is 2019. I'm out and enjoy your Friday.